I'm going to try this first video to explore whether I can split screen and talk about developing my personal mission statement, which is what I'm working on. So I made a PowerPoint presentation, which is right here, developing my personal mission statement. Yikes! Yikes, because it's hard. Anyway, I'm going to try to keep it short. So I watched some other YouTube videos about it and got some ideas about where to start. They suggested starting with a general purpose. I guess being cool is important to me. I'll work on this. And then they also suggested a specific purpose, which be cool and get paid for doing that. I just want to meet my basic needs. It does seem counterintuitive because like being cool on demand to get paid is not really cool. Anyway, this isn't cool. I'm still working on this part. And then it was values and needs. So to do that, I used these Grok cards, which I love. They're like 2 decks of cards, one with needs, words that describe life-serving energy, and one with feelings that are emotional states. And I worked through them to find my top 10 values, which was hard, and I don't know which ones are needs. And it is hard because I am thinking about an online presence and like what are the needs that I'm thinking I can bring to other people versus what are the needs that I need to meet, and what are the ones I really value. Like obviously I value respect, but respect did not actually make it into my top 10 values. So it's hard. A lot of language, like I pointed out, has definitely been co-opted by corporations and advertising consumerism. So we have to be very specific and careful when we use words. And so I try to be accurate. Anyway, these are my top ones. First is authenticity. This is, I guess, trying to encompass honesty, transparency, and integrity for me. I try to just be myself. And then I have learning and growth. I think learning is fun and growth can be play. So fun and play are right there. To be seen for who I am is important. And acceptance is something I like to model like towards others that I would also like the world to provide me. And I'd also like to be able to provide myself. So acceptance is high. Contribution is important, and part of embracing the vulnerability of recording myself and all that is that I'd like to contribute to, I don't know, the discourse, the world, the work, all these capital letter things. I think this is all general purpose stuff, which I'm still working out, but I'll get there. I do want to contribute what I have, and I do want to matter and belong, and I can't do that if I don't put myself out there. Something I do have to offer other people is compassion and empathy, as well as some explanations of empathy and how it works since I'm autistic. So it can get funky inside of that stereotype. Self-expression goes right in with fun and play. I think it's, important to be able to be yourself. And if we can all sort of do that, then we have a shared reality. I'm all about shared reality. Reality is what we can all agree on, and we can change that. But before we change reality, we sort of have to agree on what it is. Anyway, that was rough. Then I moved on to feelings. So the suggestion I saw was to find like the feelings you like to feel, which is kind of ridiculous. But it was more interesting to narrow it down than I thought. Having like a specific emotional vocabulary is really helpful. It can really further self-understanding and understanding other people. So I think it's a great idea. There's a lot more shades of meaning than just happy, sad, good, bad. So I'm all about it. These are the things I like to feel. Curious. I love feeling curious and open, hopeful, delighted, and grateful. It reminds me of the beginning of the Tao Te Ching. Not to be one of those people, but subtle wonder within mysterious darkness is one of the ways they try to get at Taoist principles. And I always liked that. I like being curious about things. I think curiosity is a cure for a lot of other negative emotions. And hopeful, delighted, grateful, open. Those are all things I'd like to feel when I'm doing work, when I'm doing this. And so next, they suggested determining my top skills and strengths. I guess there's a website for that. So I I'll need to do that. I feel like I've done it 1,000 times and I always test differently, the joys of being neurodivergent. But then I need to also specify my top goals for the next year. That will not be easy. Even trying to figure out my website launch is like, why don't I just include 25 things? So top 3 goals for the next year. And then I'm figuring out how to make this happen. That took a little time. So this list was made before I recorded, something to keep in mind. I've been sitting for a while. I took a walk this morning, but I do have a series of short stretches for your lower back, which maybe I'll share sometime if anyone's interested, because we are all doing a lot of sitting and these are easy stretches and they will help with your back. And then I'm going to eat lunch because lunch is waiting for me. So I'll probably do that and then come back and finish this thing and set it up. And you don't need to know that. You're already watching it. It's already done as far as you know. Okay, let's see. And then I can get back to this thing. And I guess I won't know if it worked until I rewatch it. And so many questions. I am definitely new to this. Okay, anyway, the cat's right behind the camera. He is not on the camera this time. I am not interested in interrupting me. He's bored. So if you are watching because my first testing video had a couple seconds of cat, I'm sorry to disappoint you. I will have the cat in the future, I promise. Okay, thank you. Bye.